Fill her up. Have you ever used that phrase? If you're my age or older, chances are you have used that phrase and terminology in your lifetime. If you're younger, maybe not. Fill her up used to be the phrase that we would say when we drove into the gas station to have the gas station attendant actually fill up our gas, wash our windows, check our air pressure, check our oil. It was all free, right? I don't know if you're old enough to remember that, but it was the good old days, I call it. Well, today, welcome to day 97 of our Supersize Your Business Annual Challenge. And we are talking about fill her up, but in a very different framework. We are talking about it with respect to using filler words in our verbal communication. When we're giving a presentation, when we're speaking, when we're making a video, when we're doing an interview, filler words pop into and find their way into our presentations and our speaking and our language. Even in two-way conversations, we'll use a lot of filler words. I find myself when I'm in a conversation I'm a little bit nervous about, I will use filler words more often, which is super irritating because it's the exact opposite of the way I want to show up in my communication. So filler words, a little exercise for us today. What do they mean? Why do we use them? We use them to pause and buy ourselves time when we're communicating, right? Our mouth can talk a whole lot faster sometimes. Actually, our brain's faster, but by the time we get the idea and get it out of our mouth, there's usually a pause. And human beings are very uncomfortable with any type of a vacuum. So many of us have a tendency to say, I got to fill that up. I have to fill that void in the conversation up. I think one of the most powerful things we can do, because it conveys absolute confidence in ourselves, is to take a deep breath, and don't make it obvious, but take a breath, pause while you think and collect your thoughts, and then speak. Instead of, oh, I don't know, look, like, do you know what I mean? All kinds of phrases that we use. And so in my Supersize You group today, I asked them to listen to 30 seconds of any one of my videos and then give me feedback on the filler word that they catch me using the most. Now, I know I do this. I have not gone back and listened to my videos, but I'm going to make myself do it today. It's going to be a little uncomfortable, but I'm going to absolutely do it because I want to find the number one word that I'm overusing, or the situations where I find myself wanting to fill in that little break of time. And it's usually only like 5 or 6 seconds, right? But we use it, right? Right's one of mine. But we use it to fill that void in. And we don't want to do that because it dilutes our message. It dilutes our presence, right? It dilutes our presence. Again, I said right. All right, I think we know what mine is today. Right is definitely one I use a lot. So we want to show up powerfully. We want to show up confidently. I would also like to challenge you in addition to giving me feedback on what filler words I tend to use too much. I would like you to record yourself or find a recording of yourself and listen back to it and find out what is your number one filler word that you use and share that in the comments below. I just want to see how many of us business people use the same type filler words. I think it might be a little industry specific. I think it might be cultural, depending on our organization. I just want to do a little research into that. Also today, we are on step 2 of our SOAP framework. We picked a communication challenge area yesterday, and I picked the 2 ears, 1 mouth thing, meaning I want to improve my listening skills. It's the one I pick almost every time we talk about communication, because I know it's one of those areas where historically I tend to be a problem solver, and I don't always listen all the way through. Now, I'm a lot better at it than I was, say, 20 years ago, because I've made my living listening to other people and hearing what they say and getting the message underneath so I can help them solve what the real problem is that they're looking at, not the symptoms of the problem. I guess I've been doing that for 40 years or more. So step 2 of the SOAP framework is options. We want to identify and realize there are infinite possible ways to fill the gap from where we are to where we want to be. There are actually, I couldn't even write them all down, all the ways that I could become a better listener. So I want to brainstorm. I'm going to show you exactly what I do. In my handy dandy journal for the annual challenge, I actually list out 1 through 10 because I'm going to use the 10-3-1 tool, which is just a brainstorming tool I made up. I just made it up. Like my daughter, we make up words if we don't have one for the current situation. Well, I make up processes if I don't have one for the current situation. So a few years back, I was doing a similar challenge that I think was a Get Up and Go challenge a couple of years ago. And so I was like, I need a tool that I can use that will help us with the SOAP framework and help us with the process. And one tool that can be used for more than one step. So that's when I came up with, okay, brainstorming is always going to be one of my favorite tools in my toolbox. We're going to brainstorm at least 10 possible ways to fill that gap. Why 10? Because we usually can come up with about 1 or 2 or 3 ideas immediately. And our brain, I don't know why many of us are wired this way, is to think that we only have 1 or 2 possible ways of doing something, or 3 maybe if we're thinking that we're creative. And I found that when I push myself to at least 10, my brain opens up, my subconscious opens up, my creativity opens up, and all of a sudden I'm combining things and thinking of things that I wouldn't have otherwise thought of. And that's usually where the item that I choose to take action on lies. It's usually not in the top 3. Usually the top 3 are things that I've done over and over and over again. And if they were getting me the result that I wanted, I'd keep using them. But sometimes they aren't appropriate for the situation. And listening is one of those soft skills that's very critical and important that I want to make sure I'm continually improving all the time, not just when I'm doing a challenge on it. So I'm going to brainstorm my 10 options. I have not done that yet. I'll do it in my handy dandy book. And then we're going to circle 3. Why? Because tomorrow we're going to use those 3 to decide what to take action on. Because tomorrow we're taking some action. So give me feedback on my filler word. Record yourself and listen and determine your own filler word, because pretty much all of us have them. And then thirdly, brainstorm a list of 10 things as you go about your day that could help you to close the gap between where you are and where you want to be with the communication skill that or this communication challenge that you're wanting to alleviate in your business today. Any help with this? Any questions? Hit me up and ask. If you'd like me to do a write-up of the challenge, I actually do a write-up. I don't use it, but I do it so that I think about ahead of time what I'm going to talk about. And then I just talk about it because of my personal vision challenges. But if you would like that, if that would be valuable, you can get it by joining the Supersize Your Business School. I've got it in the classroom there, and all the way back to the first of the year. I'm going to put the entire year in there. So it's a great tool and a great resource to just go in, listen to a 10-minute or less video, do the action item, and see how fast your business supersizes because you're doing one little thing every day to improve it, to continually improve it. All right, if I can help you anyway, ask. Otherwise, have an awesome day. Looking forward to seeing those filler words. And I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow. Bye.